Good morning and welcome to episode 1206 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us today. Wes has political figures, a cold-hearted bitch, and the F word in the cup of coffee, the big time.
That's correct. There's some other stuff in there that I might get to, might not. It's a full coffee, so we'll see where it takes us. But yeah, you know,
on a bit of a journey, Wesley.
A bit of a journey.
Gonna feel it out. Gonna feel it out.
Yeah, see how much you guys talk, and then we'll figure it out.
Okay, sounds fun. Well, let's move on then. Mark's got wine and lollipops on deck after that.
Yeah, but yes, I do. And an idiot. That's the three: wine, lollipops, and an idiot.
Oh, nice. A nice trio.
Yep.
I've got the new king of beers, maybe in the hole.
Okay.
Some are wondering. Some
I'm
are
intrigued. There's always only ever been one king of beers, so I'm really.
I mean, many have claimed the title. There's only been one technically, but who knows? I mean, it's
I used to
got a
call
sting
myself
like king.
I used to call myself the beer king, the inverse of that.
You can still keep that title, Mark.
Okay, cool.
You're still the beer king.
Hell yeah, that's right, BK.
Okay.
And Pat's got a related. How do you want to say it, Pat? It's a little bit related to the King of Beers segment.
I'll come out and say it. People aren't liking what other people are coming out of the liquor store with, and some people are coming at them and saying,
No.
"What's that in your bag?" Not on my watch, because I'm confused.
So
violence.
Queer beating has come back full circle, but via hiding through if someone has Bud Light or not. Then you can queer bash.
What you got? Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay,
What you got in that bag?
Okay. Listen for.
I'm texting my mom right now to see if she has switched from Bud Light.
Oh yeah, that's a good call, Wes. That's some. Good...
I have a feeling she's going to, because I just know her.
Right, it's too much.
The pressure is going to get to her.
It's a lot. We'll get to it. Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. But thank you for the field research.
It's not queer bashing. I don't hate queers. I'm just beating you up because you drink Bud Light because they like queers. So it's not really the same thing.
It's about wokeness.
Yeah. It's so much bigger than that. You don't get.
What's the opposite of wokeness? Being asleep. Yeah. I want to be asleep.
I'm gonna sleep you.
End your wokeness by putting you to sleep.
That's right.
All right. Okay. And announcements. A couple big ones here. Fat-a-thon. If you are participating in that, well, good, because you're losing weight and looking great. The final weigh-ins will be Friday, May 19th, through Wednesday, May 24th. You can submit your final weight any of those days. We will announce the winners before Memorial Day weekend, so everybody will be skinny, and whoever the winners were, they'll have the cash prize from patreon.com/hardfactors 2023 Fat Boy Summer Fat-a-thon. Also, the next trivia for the patrons is going to be Friday, May 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern as well. So
that's confirmed.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Ooh. Yes, confirmed.
Yes.
So that's a big week. That's coming up. That's next week. Okay. So get your ducks in a row. Just letting you know.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
All right, cup of coffee in the big time. Joke of the day is actually a prank call I want to play for you guys, performed by a comedian named Chris James, a.k.a. Prank Stallone. So last Wednesday,
that's a pretty cool name.
It's a good name. Last Wednesday, he tweeted an idea of pranking Alex Jones with an AI-generated Tucker Carlson voice, and he did it, and here's the call.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, Alex, it's Tucker. Do you have a minute to talk?
Absolutely.
You busy right now, or you got a second to talk?
I just jumped out. What's going on, brother?
You busy right now, or you got a second to talk?
No, I just left a meeting with my wife. Go ahead.
I was thinking we could do a show together where we're topless and we suck each other's nipples and sort of play with them a bit. It would be a comment on gender roles, sort of a funny parody thing. Alex,
well,
they took my Bobby tie. What the fuck, man? Alex, they took my Bobby tie. What the fuck, man?
You got to go to
It's actually me.
Infowars.com.
Did my number not come up?
He knows.
What's going on, man?
As soon as he says you got to go to Infowars to come.
Alex, they took my Bobby tie. What the fuck, man?
No, it's not good. Well, it does sound like you, but the AI is so good now, you don't usually talk like that.
He got it.
Yeah. So
He got it. Yeah,
Can't pull it over on me.
he did get
Yeah, I was just taking a shit.
it. He said that the guy said that he ran out of material. He didn't think it would go that long, so he just
He only had
repeating this.
about like 20 seconds prepped, really. So
Yeah.
that's
But Alex got mad, called the guy, and said that Tucker was thinking about suing, and this whole back and forth. Apparently, the guy told Alex, he texted him that it wasn't AI, and I don't know. It's boring after the prank call, but Alex Jones is pretty mad about it.
Can you sue for that? Interesting.
he called
I'm
back and
surprised.
gave him more material.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe because the state he recorded the call in. I don't know, but
No, there's only like 5 states that you can't record.
right.
And,
So I don't
Texas, you
understand 'cause
can
the prank
one
call.
way. Yeah, you can one-way record. Only you need to consent. The pranker.
That's right.
Florida's like a 2-way consent, which sucks.
Most
because
states, right?
Most no. Most states are just one way.
Right. Most states are one way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
There's only
Is
a
it
few.
most?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
toss up, right?
No,
It's
it's,
most,
like
I think.
4
I think it's
states are
most.
one
You
way.
don't have to have consent to record a prank call.
But speaking of Tucker, he took to Twitter and announced that he will be now doing his show, the Tucker Carlson show, the same show he's been doing for the past 6.5 years, on Twitter. In that clip, he said that he basically bashed mainstream media. Every major network is basically telling everyone how full of shit and manipulative they all are.
Which he was on for like 10 years.
I know, it's
right?
pretty weird.
Right.
They're a
I
thinly
mean, he
disguised
was-
propaganda outlet.
The
He
number
literally
one.
that's what came out. That's what came out in the disclosure. Is he was manipulating people for money.
It was
when
entertainment.
he was
right?
the number
Yeah.
one mainstream media show.
Sorry about the last 10 years.
Yeah. Hey, this is gonna be different though. We're gonna do a completely different show where I tell you all the truth.
It's all the truth this time. Well, no. So
Tucker, unfiltered.
As soon as I saw this, right? So of course Tucker gets fired, and then he ducks down for a couple days, and then he comes out of he was literally in his awesome house in Florida doing it straight to camera, and it got 11 million impressions. The tweet, which is good, very good, strong.
Good. That's good.
But you expect that
at the
for a
numbers on
guy
that.
who had a massive fucking audience on network television, and
And everyone
dropped
wants to
his
hear what he's
first-
saying. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
His first
Yeah, of
message
course.
since he got fired. Immediately, someone was like, you should take this thing to Twitter. But I don't think Twitter is his audience, right?
Yeah, but
I mean,
Elon is probably offering him like a bucket of cash, right? Like,
True.
He's saying that Twitter is the last bastion of free
frontier.
speech, right?
Well, I mean,
so
you should
and
see
but
the
it's-
amount of porn on there.
But there's
It's
so
very
much
free.
misinformation on Twitter too. I mean, it's just it's
Yeah,
it is
Tucker.
what it
Maybe
is.
this means Tucker's just a huge porn guy. He's like,
Could be.
you can get your porn and your news in the same place. That's,
Yep.
that's what
Anyway.
America's about.
Listen to us. We're way more unbiased than factual. 80%. Quick
I think he's
congratulations.
just butt buddies with Elon, and he just wants to go work at his buddy's place. And also like
he's gonna go for the money. Doesn't matter.
he's trying to get in early on the trend of potentially shows being specific to social media platforms. Which
Didn't Joe Rogan try that already?
with Spotify, which is a
Right.
little bit different. So now like Facebook and Twitter and the social media platforms may try to have shows be exclusive.
I don't
to
feel
them.
too bad for him. He's got no
Yeah.
boss, and he's going to make a ton of money on Twitter. And I'm not
I'll tell you what it
really
is,
seeing.
guys.
I'm not really seeing where I'm supposed to feel bad.
It's a
for
win-win
him or-
for him.
Yeah,
No,
it
no,
seems like-
you,
yeah.
you shouldn't, Mark.
He's got a non-compete. I bet you he can't go to Facebook. He can't go, and because
Well,
Twitter
at-
didn't
at
do
the
shows.
Start, but
So his non-compete probably mentioned every place that did shows, and he can't go on
One of the
TV.
few, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
he
for
literally
now-
cannot be
for
on TV.
now. For now, he's just.
Well,
gonna
that's why
make
he's going to Twitter.
20, he's
But
just gonna
internet
make-
content.
for Fox, you're saying not compete. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So until he figures out his next move, or he'll stay at Twitter and make 20 million a year.
It's
So
not
we'll
that
know.
big of a deal with internet content these days for people like him. So
Right.
Anyway, enough about Tucker. Quick
I want to talk
congratulations
more.
to actor.
Can we
Actor
turn our
Robert-
attention back to Tucker?
Robert De Niro had his 7th child, his 4th baby mama. Couldn't find out whether it was a boy or girl. And not mentioning too much information. But he's 79. I'm sure that'll be a meaningful and very close relationship.
So doing the math, what do you graduate high school at 18?
Yeah, He'll be
That's
100.
97.
Isn't
He'd
it
be 97 at the graduation.
Yeah, dude.
Is it a little out of touch?
How old is she? She's a mystery woman, right, Wes? Like,
Yeah,
No.
they didn't. Well, I don't, it's one of his girlfriends, I guess. I don't know. He's got 3. This is his 4th baby mama. He's got two 2 kids with his first wife, 2 kids with his second wife, 2 kids with a previous girlfriend, and now this maybe his wife. I don't know.
Never got it snipped, huh? Never got it snipped.
Of course not. Robert's not getting snipped. He could
I
snip
believe
us
it's
now.
an Asian lady.
Same
Wes.
age as
Oh,
Joe
really?
Biden, right? Same age as Joe Biden.
Listen, Asian ladies take care of you in your old
No,
age.
he's
That is-
87.
That is well known.
No,
He's 78 or
he's-
87?
No, they're the same age.
79.
So imagine if Joe Biden came out and was like, "Me and Dr. Jill are having another kid, Jack." Like everybody would be fucking alarmed.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Dude.
It's alarming. It doesn't matter who it is. 79's alarming. For,
it's amazing his sperm can still swim like that, you know?
I mean, it's just fathering a fatherless child. It's fucked up. The worst take I saw on the internet about this was a guy who was like, BuzzFeed News essentially saying, abortion should be legal. Like, don't question what a woman does with her body. And then BuzzFeed News commenting, and that's irresponsible of Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And then fucking clowns, these hypocritical clowns. I mean, similar. I don't know.
I will say this.
Are you saying that you're saying that Robert should be able to
His
to
body, his
cancel?
choice. Will his body, his choice as well.
Yeah, he should be able to have a knockout.
Well, I think
kids.
this is the unnamed mother's choice, technically.
True. It's
Yeah.
exactly. I will say this. If anyone
wants
would
cash
have a
for life.
79-year-old, it would be awkward unless it's Robert De Niro and it made national news. Because when he takes this kid to the playground, they're going to be like, what are you, grandfather, great-grandfather? To anyone else besides a guy who made national news, then everyone's going to know it's awkward, but they're not going to ask him if it's his great-grandkid. They're probably going to be like, hey, nice kid. You know?
It's tough.
Right,
It's
yeah.
tough to
I
have
see what you're
have,
saying.
have a
You see what I'm
fresh
saying?
child in your
Because
70s.
he would get it. He would get it from everyone being like, what are you, great-grandpa? And he's like,
But
I'm
hold on,
dad.
Mark. Guys that fuck into their late 70s and 80s
Don't care.
and procreate, they don't care. Those guys are
Don't
so
care.
rich, they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
man. They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Also, as you guys said, probably not. I mean, just going to kind of ignore a lot of it.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
Joe Biden the whole thing.
He's
gonna
gonna
be water
he's
off
gonna
a duck's back,
Larry King him. He's not gonna want to see him. Yeah.
Right, exactly. All right.
I'd like to see him. I just can't see because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
blind because I'm so fucking old.
Yeah, it's just
This is
infants
Goku
aren't allowed
Goku.
in the old folks' home. You know, we can't bring the baby in.
It's like when you get a puppy and you have an old dog and it just annoys the shit out of the old dog the whole time. That's going to be that relationship.
Hey, Robert, the rollerblades are a real problem here in the nursing home, okay? We're going to have to ask your son not to. Dude, there's a 51-year age difference between him and his oldest kid and his youngest kid.
Yeah, there's also a
God.
79-year age difference between him and his child. so-
Right. How many people are how many television shows are trying to get at him to do him raising his kid, like De Niro trying to change diapers? It would be the most incredible TV show if they somehow paid him enough to be like infinite, like cleaning diapers and walking.
He should do it so he
Yeah.
gets like free like maids and
man.
whatnot for part of
That
the
would be
production
awesome,
crew.
All right.
Cool
Well,
for
congratulations, Robert. We hope it's
babysitters.
a masculine child if it is a boy, and it's
right.
masculine if it's a girl too. Who cares? Moving on.
Godfather.
The NPR article I'm going to reference, this next one. A federal jury written by 4 women, Becky Sullivan, Andrea Bernstein, Ilya Meritz, and Quill Lawrence. Donald Trump has been found liable for battery and defamation in the lawsuit brought by Jean Carroll, who says that he raped her in a Manhattan department store in the mid-1990s. 9 jurors took 3 hours before reaching their conclusion, and they found that they didn't find that Trump raped Carroll, but they agreed that he sexually abused her and he defamed her when he refuted her story. So
Are you afraid to announce the results of a trial, Wes?
I'm reading the article word for word.
That was a
Right, what you said, like I'm going to read you an NPR article.
No,
here.
because
This
I
is from
didn't. Because I want to give these people
state
credit.
Sponsored.
No, because I want to give these people credit because I literally just took it word for word because it has a lot of legal shit that I just want to make sure I get correct. So, Carroll was awarded $5 million in total damages for both claims, and
That's guilty. According
that's
to
guilty.
The
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
So this is what for those not familiar with civil cases. This doesn't mean Trump was found guilty of rape, just like OJ was not found guilty of nearly beheading
Just-
Ron
just
Goldman.
lost
in
the
the cold
civil
system.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just ordered to pay monetary compensation for the near beheadings. So
It's
same
the right
thing
thing
here.
to do.
Yeah, it's the
Similar
right thing to
case,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. So a civil trial, the burden of proof for the battery claim
Okay, I'll pay him.
is lower than a
Yeah.
criminal proceeding. Yeah. It's cheap.
Yeah, I'll
They
pay
lost
him.
his
You know.
$5 million
They
ahead.
lost their son.
Ah, no problem.
Yeah.
$5 million ahead, no problem.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
OJ.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded, man.
I can still golf, right?
I just make the proceeds off a book saying how I would have done it. You know?
We wrap this up. I got a tea time.
Yeah.
Rather than so the criminal proceeding, it's lower burden of proof than the criminal proceeding in the civil trial, and Carroll needed to prove her case by preponderance of the evidence. In other words, the jurors needed only to believe Carroll's version of the events was more likely true than not. So in New York also, a civil claim of battery may encompass a wide range of unwanted physical contact. In addition to asking whether Trump raped Carroll, the jury was asked to consider whether he sexually abused her or forcibly touched her, which, apparently he stuck his hand in her, and then
he's probably guilty of that one.
Certainly did the grabbing by the pussy that he was bragging about.
Yeah,
probably.
absolutely. Nearly everyone.
And the judge wanted to clarify that anything from a gentle but unwanted peck
it's like his handshake
on the cheek to stabbing someone with a knife could be battery for the purposes of a civil case like this one. So the bar was really low, and what he was accused of was really high. So,
so they didn't agree. They didn't agree that it was the full on rape in the civil ruling. But they also the one of the main pieces that they said was because of his Truth Social rant, or was it Twitter? I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, calling her a nut job, saying that it was.
Yeah,
that
that's the defamation part. So it was $2 million.
There's a statute of limitations, which is why this is civil, right? Or
I'm not sure on that charge.
No, so
I think in New York it's 20 years.
Yeah,
right. So this is over 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 years.
So they found for the defamation, the compensatory defamation part. So it was $2 million in damages, along with 20,000 in punitive damages, and for the defamation, it was 2.7 and 280 in punitive. And they found that Trump acted maliciously out of hatred, ill will, spite, or wanton, recklessly, or willfully disregard of the rights of another. Basically, because he denied the whole fucking thing, said she was crazy, said he wouldn't, all this.
I mean, that's just a description of his generic behavior.
So there's probably like 70 other women that are like, shit, I could get $5 million.
It's
thinking about it.
He grabbed so many pussies,
and it also means
he said it. I mean, he said it on the tape with Billy.
He wasn't lying.
It also sounds like Cuomo's in deep shit based on this ruling too.
Yeah, Cuomo. He's gonna owe some millions.
Yeah,
too.
He's gonna owe a peck on the cheek is considered abuse in a civil
He needs an
court.
Italian judge. Cuomo needs the oldest, most male Italian judge in New York.
He needs to kiss the judge day one.
Yeah.
And be like, see, judge.
So
that's how we do it.
After the trial, of course, Trump was not present in court for the decision. They're going to appeal it, but he immediately went on Truth Social, hit the caps lock key, and wrote this: "I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. This verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time." And he later added, "Very unfair trial." So he
knows who she is. She was fucking famous back in the day, and there's photos of him and him hanging out with her, and
they were like
photos
friends.
of him and her husband. Yeah, absolutely, he knows.
I think he even mixed her up with his ex-wife in one photograph during the deposition.
She was helping him shop for his ex-wife, right?
Look, he can't. It's the verdict's already, and he can say whatever he wants. They can't get him again.
Right, exactly. I think this is just his time to pop off.
Yeah, now he just gets to rile up the troops.
He's looking at it like he's paying legal fees and whatever she can actually get of this $5 million, which may not be all of it from him.
This is all coming back to text messages when he texts 80 million people to send him money for his campaign and for his legal fees. The people that are paying for this are Trump fans.
They say I raped. What do you say?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
but I got to send my boy $100.
There'll be some T-shirts on this one.
The texts are already firing for sure.
Okay, moving on.
What'd you say the verdict was? $3 million, huh? Maybe you can buy yourself another kid, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Brown. Maybe just buy yourself another kid with this money.
They say he raped. I don't believe it.
That's a lot of money.
Gotta be honest.
That's a lot of money.
Doesn't seem like the type.
Maybe you can buy a new kid.
Twitter, let me tell you something. I've been here.
Has he fired off a take yet, OJ? On this?
Probably will soon.
He will.
All right, let me check it. I'm gonna check his profile.
Moving on. Speaking of politicians that are charged with shit, federal prosecutors have filed criminal charges against New York Rep. George Santos. He's expected to appear in court as soon as today, Wednesday, tomorrow, if you're watching this live, in New York's Eastern District. The charges, we don't know what they are, but we think that it's coming against about the allegations of false statements in his campaign, finance filings, and other claims. So the charges are sealed right now. We'll find out more later this week.
Good luck. He's going to wiggle out of it.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
He's going to wiggle out of it.
Probably.
He's a slippery bastard. But I mean,
You think it's DeVolder Group related?
yes, dude.
Yes.
All of his funding, everything's so shady. Also, we've covered like hard evidence of so many like fraud crimes that he's committed. I mean, it feels like the DOJ is going to have a lot of ammo. To go
Trump
after
should just
George
make him his
Santos.
vice president at this
That
point.
would be
Yeah,
amazing.
He is good.
those two.
Maybe he'll name Tucker.
I have Anthony DeVolder Santos. He just like gets the names wrong. Just mixes them up.
I'll bet you what it is. It's I know we covered it initially, essentially that he was like making no money, and then all of a sudden he was making like $1 million or some shit, or $400,000. But it turned out he got that through like brokering yacht deals, right? Through like two Republican mega donors. And when you saw that, it was too fucking clear. I bet that's what it'll be. It'll be
Yachts
the
in
yacht
general
deals.
are a big money laundering scam.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
Yeah.
They're probably
Yeah,
not
and then-
getting him for the dog thing in Amish Town. Probably
Those
not
were pretty
that.
tough, though. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you could probably toss some charges on for that. Also, OJ has not weighed in on the Trump
he will.
situation. The Trump
Let me
Eugene
make sure I
Carroll
get it right.
I talked to
taking a
Donald
nap, probably.
and told him everything's gonna be okay.
What, they get
Did
you
my research.
civil only, huh? Yeah.
Sorry for not weighing
been
in
there.
earlier, Twitter. I was golfing.
Hello, Twitter world.
I was doing something a free man does. Taking a nap.
All right. Let's move on, guys. Former longtime Cincinnati basketball head coach, current West Virginia basketball men's head coach, and Basketball Hall of Fame inductee Bob Huggins was trending because Bob went on a radio show and started slanging F-bombs. I have the clip.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the clip. These are Huggins's words, not ours. We love gay people. We, so let's just get that straight clear
Well,
because
if you're
you're
at
going
work,
to hear
if
something.
you're at work and NSFW or whatever.
Yeah, NSFW. Don't turn
Not
this
safe
one
work.
up because I'm
Don't
going to
turn
play
it
the
up.
words because you should hear it. And I think you'll find two things interesting about this clip. One, the ease with which Huggins drops the F-bombs, and that he, and then what is absolutely hilarious is how the radio host throws his co-host right in there along with Huggins in the whole impending controversy, which is just fabulous.
You sound like our co-host.
Oh, you'll see what he does. It's so
Okay.
fucked up.
That's what he always says.
All right, here's the clip.
Oh,
also tells me that you have the best portal transfers. Have you poached any Xavier guys to come to play for West Virginia?
Catholics don't do that.
No, we're above the fracas, aren't we? No problem.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell you what, any school that can throw rubber penises on the floor and then say they didn't do it, by God, they can get away with anything.
Rubber penis. Was this like
that was at the Crosstown shootout,
it
wasn't it?
was transgender night, wasn't it?
What?
Was that it?
It was a crosstown shootout. Yeah, no, what it was all those fags, those Catholic fags, I think.
that's what he.
All right.
What is that a term?
They were envious they didn't have one.
Steve, your comments about Bob Huggins. Is he the best? He's the best.
He's the best.
The best ever. Is he the best assistant coach you ever had?
What do you think, homophobic Steve?
Steve Muller.
Hey, he's the best,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So there you have it. Yeah.
What was he
I don't even
talking
know-
about?
They're talking about Huggins recruiting Xavier college ball players, which is a Catholic school in the Big East, and right, Mark, I think Big East.
Yeah, but yeah.
And there was, I guess there was an
Catholic. I guess
incident.
I guess they are, and so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like
Like
obsessed
Christian,
with them being Catholic, and then said,
Yeah.
and then say their Catholic F words.
Yeah,
and
calls
then
them Catholic F words.
Wouldn't drop that. What is that like a saying? I've never
No,
heard that before.
I don't
ever.
think so. I think he just says anything than F words.
Right, he says it a lot.
Like this isn't a thing.
It's his
The thing,
descriptor.
his thing is his adjective for anyone is the F word.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't
It's
like.
this
man.
any
Yeah.
group.
Right.
Right.
Huggins was saying that like he had no idea that he was going to get fired from saying it. Like he
didn't get
wasn't. He
fired.
was saying
He was on air.
He didn't
Clearly.
get fired.
Not yet.
He
not
will.
Yet. Yeah, he will. I think he'll get fired. He'll be
yeah,
forced
right.
to resign.
he'll be fired like in a day and a half.
Yeah,
You would
it's
think.
under review.
This happened a few
I
days
think
ago.
a lot of people.
It
would
happened
be pushing
Monday.
on them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So what?
I guess
so-
Huggy Bear he's not a.
Well,
he's
I
not a
saw a
fan
tweet-
of the gays. Huggy
No, I
Bear.
mean, he's just Huggins. He's a nut.
Weird for a guy named Huggy Bear.
Well, the host kind of kind of set him up a little bit when he's like, "What was it, transgender night?" And then
Yeah, I mean the host
he opened
didn't
the
have to
door
go
for
there.
Huggins to just slam it shut.
The host didn't have to go there.
We have similar views.
Yeah.
I've heard you say a lot of bad stuff behind the scenes.
Before we move on to transgenders, let's deal with the Catholic Fs.
But this wasn't a slip up. This wasn't a whoops. This was a I know what I'm saying and I'm going to repeat it. I'm actually going to add to it and know exactly what I'm saying. It wasn't like that guy who said the N-word when he mispronounced the Negro League or whatever.
It sounded to me like he was like continuing a bar conversation with that radio host. Like, no, remember what I told you about the Catholic Fs? Remember?
Yeah.
Like that's
so
wait.
You know the rubber dick Fs.
Matt, live comment. Matt says that we did know obviously that Huggins coached at Cincinnati for sure, but he's saying the radio show host he was talking to went to Xavier, so maybe he was giving it to him. The crosstown shootout, so Cincinnati versus Xavier. So there's a rivalry. There's a rivalry with Cincinnati and Xavier.
It is
Xavier, and so he was making fun of the host a little bit by calling him an F word and saying that all their fans are F words.
It's a term he only uses, and then didn't get that it was inappropriate on a radio.
He's keeping the rivalry going, even though he's 3 colleges removed from Cincinnati. Coached in Cincinnati like 20 years ago.
So, of course, Huggins put out an apology, saying that he's ready for any consequences that come to him. He's, I'm sorry. I deeply apologize if I offended anyone and the Xavier community, blah, blah, blah. It was obviously written by someone else. And then the athletic
department.
Sorry
to Xavier. That's the one people he was really trying to burn to the ground was Xavier, but he burned himself to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to stick.
Last time when we coached against him in 2003, they were a bunch of.
When Bob Huggins calls you the F word, your whole school the F word, it sticks.
He coached in Cincinnati from '89 to 2005.
Yeah.
Where is he at now?
He's at West Virginia.
He's been at 3 schools since.
Right. Yeah. So anyway,
every school that Xavier plays now is going to have a Catholic F-bomb sign that has to get confiscated from the stands.
1,000%. It's going to stick. West Virginia is going to
Huggins is a menace.
Let go.
West Virginia is probably going to fire him. It's under review. We'll keep you posted. And that brings
South Carolina's going to hire him, though.
Yeah. Alabama or something. Yeah. I mean, West Virginia is the closest thing to the South in the North, I guess. But
that's why they haven't fired him yet. They're debating.
Exactly. They're
like we really don't want it.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
I mean, West Virginia also said, I don't know, slavery, I'm out to Virginia. They're mountain, but they're not.
But only because we couldn't afford it, though. We resent.
They're backwards, but they're not backwards. You know what I mean?
If we could have affords it,
West Virginia is backwards as hell.
Would have thought about it.
Yeah, but they seceded from fucking Virginia. They joined the union.
Pat, I'll give you not racist, but they're
living West Virginia.
They're definitely drunk and godlike, and that combination is not good for the gays.
Also, Morgantown, I think most kegs per capita of any town. So
it is
fun place to party.
Oh yeah, Morgantown. There was a stat back when we went in college. Like
I love West Virginia.
Morgantown sold over 10% of kegs, and there's like 7,000 colleges. So the math just didn't add up. 10%, more than 10% of kegs were sold at one college.
West Virginia is a beautiful state.
And very
it is.
It is.
Love WV, but I mean, dude, there's.
They might slang a few F words around there.
Yeah,
maybe.
Just don't act funny there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like funny. All right, guys. That brings us to
the cream of the crop.
Guys, this right here is Corey Richins and her husband Eric, and that's a look.
Did Eric die? Because I'm gonna make fun of him.
Yep. He's dead.
Eric's
always
dead.
When we bring up these pictures, I always immediately make fun of the victim. Look at that face.
I was gonna say they look happy, right?
No, he looks weird.
He looks nervous.
How about there?
He does look nervous.
Yeah. No, well, he's dead.
Still a little on edge. He looks.
This says she's gonna kill me, and this is I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, yeah. When I saw that photo earlier, knowing what I know, what you're about to say, that photo really makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
Put it back up because she's gritting her teeth, guys.
They both are.
I mean,
She has a knife pointed at his
grinding
back.
them. Look at that.
She's got a gun pointed at his back.
Yeah, I mean, this is a telling picture
smile.
for what I'm about to tell you guys. Yeah. So Eric's dead. And the couple's 3 young sons miss their dad very much. It's hard losing your dad so young. And Corey, being the great mom that she is very proactive in helping not only her own children, but children around the U.S. cope with grief, which is why she wrote a children's book called Are You With Me? And as you can see, here's the cover. It's a little boy running and playing soccer, and the dead dad cheering him on from the clouds, a.k.a. heaven,
This is just
with
like
angel
OJ
wings
again.
on and a
Back
halo.
to OJ.
It's a great baby warming gift or baby shower gift for De Niro's new kid.
Yeah, exactly. But the guy in the clouds is going to look much older.
Yeah.
He's got a walker.
I mean, it's a great book, right? I mean, it helps you out with if your dad dies. Unfortunately, what the cover was missing was mommy giving daddy a drink laced with fentanyl, which killed him. And that's what this woman
do it.
allegedly did. And then she wrote the children's book about how to handle grief. She also dedicated the fucking book to him. Quote, dedicated to my amazing husband and wonderful father.
The ultimate last troll.
Low tolerance for fentanyl.
Oh, well, when you put
Tolerance.
5 times the amount needed to OD in a Moscow Mule at night, the tolerance doesn't matter.
So that's what she did.
That's
They
what
didn't,
she did.
Yeah.
they didn't suspect her at all.
No, so here's the backstory. On March 24th, she told police that she had made her husband a Moscow Mule, served it to him to celebrate this big sale of a home for her business. He then, of course, died because she put in 5 times the amount
More
needed.
like a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah. You don't usually die of OD of Moscow Mules, but this one, she slipped, all that fentanyl in, and then she called night, and then she said that she went to the kid's bedroom because they were having nightmares, and then at 3 a.m. she went back in the bedroom, was like, oh, it worked, he's dead,
What did
body
she,
cold, I'll
what
call
did
the
she
cops.
Google a recipe for Moscow Mule from the Satanic Church?
And according
It
to
wouldn't
the
be
New
like
York
that,
Post,
Mark. If she did get that recipe,
You want to
it
add a
would be
little
not-
spice.
You might think it might be like, but wouldn't be like that.
According to the Post, one of her husband's sisters told investigators that Eric called her from a vacation in Greece before she killed him with his wife years earlier, and claiming that she made him a drink that made him violently ill. The sister also
poisoners.
alleged,
Yeah.
I mean, she was
They do it
trying.
over and over. Yeah.
They do it over and over.
Yeah,
I mean,
once it's like cheating. Once
how are you gonna accept a drink from her ever again? I mean, that's kind of on Eric.
Because she was very sorry about it.
And
Right.
she's making a Moscow Mule. What a delightful drink. It's
delicious.
complicated. 3
They
or 4
are delicious.
ingredients, usually served in like a silver mug.
Yeah,
You,
but there's
you
a
maybe
reason.
ask, you maybe ask her, did you do anything to it? But you drink it, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The silver mug, the copper mug, because you can't see how cloudy it is with the fentanyl pills that she crushed up in there. Yeah.
That's just lime juice.
Yes.
I made it with all the ingredients. I didn't skimp. That's ginger beer,
you don't know
lime
how
juice. That's
copper
the cloudiness.
reflects.
Yeah. Eric also had a joint life insurance policy with his business partner, Cody Wright, that his wife had tried to change in January 2022. They caught it, and then he made his sister the sole beneficiary.
They caught that too, huh?
Yeah, they caught that
the
too.
first poisoning, the changing of the life insurance.
He warned people that his sister's. He told everyone, I think she's going to kill me for the money, and he stayed with her and was still drinking her Moscow Mules.
Oh, this guy.
Like-
Well, I mean, oh, come on. I mean, you don't
me a
want to
break.
This is
R.I.P.
why-
That's horrible.
This was the vibe I was getting from the picture where I was going to make fun of him for being such a goofball. He's a goofball. He was.
So he knew she's trying to poison him. He suspects it, tells his family that he thinks she's going to kill him, and then she kills him, and then she writes a book about it.
Listen, on February
Right.
14th, Valentine's
Yes.
Day dinner, she tried to poison him again. He became ill. He passed out. He took an EpiPen, some Benadryl, and
Love
then
potion number 9. Yeah.
and then less than a month later, she got this fentanyl from another drug dealer. She needed she
Not
wanted what
Larry
was
in
called
Vancouver.
the Michael Jackson stuff. She finally got her hand on 30 pills of fentanyl, and then he was dead. So this is the 4th time that she tried to poison him, and he's just sitting there drinking her Moscow Mule.
Only once.
Yeah.
After she tried to adjust the beneficiary of the life insurance policy.
Yeah,
year
he
ago.
knew she was
I mean,
after
like,
him.
Okay, look, here's the thing. This guy's got a business partner because he has a joint life insurance policy on his business.
Yeah.
Which means he's really close to this guy, right? And when you find out that your buddy's wife tried to change the policy on the joint life insurance policy you have with your buddy, you stage an intervention and you say, if it happened to any of you guys, I'd pull you guys aside
I
and
would
I'd say,
expect
no
it.
mas, walk
Right.
the fuck
That's
away.
trouble.
I don't
I'd do
care
the
if you
same.
think you're in love, we're leaving.
Right.
And then I'd be like, she only did it 3 times.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
She only tried to kill me 3 times.
Yeah.
Is this one poisoned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
do
once
love
somebody
a
tries to
mule.
kill you the first time, you just got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
You know,
Eric
the
was,
first attempt on your life, and you just got to say, hey, that's enough. I'm done.
Eric
I'm
was
with this.
planning on filing for divorce,
it.
but she got to him before he could file. So
Just after one last celebration together.
and
with
now
mules.
now the kids don't have either parent because she's going to jail forever, charged with first degree.
How are you going
She could write another book about the kid growing up.
Yeah.
Where
So
she's
Wes,
in
How I
jail.
killed your daddy.
She's behind bars. He's in the clouds.
She ruined everything for the whole family. So he stayed with her, Wes, after announcing his intentions to divorce her, while knowing that she was trying to poison him.
I don't think that he announced it to her. I think that he was just telling everyone,
like
his
she's
sisters.
not going to find out.
I know.
Like that lady's not going to find out.
Listen, he should have gone. He should have been gone after this. Probably the second poisoning.
Pat, did you just flash a picture of Heidi and what's his face from from the
This
OC?
is no. This
Wasn't
is
me.
them. This is.
That's the couple.
Yeah, it's the
They
couple.
look different. She's got blonde
I know,
hair and he's
I
got
know.
blonde
Yeah.
mustache. Like the,
There they are. There he
Fuck,
is.
man.
Poor guy. So
oh, he looks so scared and everything.
this was all in Utah, by the way.
Utah.
Oh,
Utah.
is this a Utah thing, dude?
Pat's
Utah.
fans in Utah.
How many marital deaths proportionally? Utah's got to be the number one state.
I think
right?
Utah's number one.
Yeah,
That guy that
Poisoning-
killed his
poisoning,
wife and
certainly.
the kids. Right? He was Utah.
certainly nonviolent.
Kansas is big, I bet. Man, I feel like Oklahoma as well. This is just anecdotal information. Being a big
Eric, can you
Dateline
get
guy.
on that? Can you see?
Was the
where-
guy who recently traveled cross country to kill his own brother? Was that in Utah, where he ended up?
I think it was.
Forget.
Look, lots of Utah people are going to kill lots of Utah people. Okay, there's no doubt about that. We know that. Okay?
No. Okay. No. I don't have that. I don't have it. It's the
Okay.
opposite. It's a good stat. This is just the 5 states with the highest marriage rate, not death marriage rate.
Oh, I mean that's up there. Utah's like got
Utah's
spousal murder.
Utah's 4. Will State's number 1.
Highest spousal
Nevada?
murder rate.
Yeah. A lot of 26% of people in Nevada are married. They take into account
Highest
children.
rate of spousal murder.
No, yeah, I googled that, but it didn't. It does. It's not Googleable. Now I'm on a list.
Yeah, black.
Yeah, that was a stupid Google.
VPN that.
I'm
That
on
was a bad.
I'm not
Google.
married. Let me get into it.
All right. Well, let's.
Let me go. I'll Google this. Step aside, boys.
I'm definitely on a list recently with all the satanic stuff I've been looking at.
yeah.
All right, guys. What's worse than buying a pair of expensive sunglasses and losing them right after you get them? We all
I
know
would
the
imagine
answer.
nothing, but maybe breaking them.
Breaking them. That's right, Mark. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Not for me. Not since I got Shady Rays. Shady Rays makes high quality sunglasses that are just as good, or in my opinion, even better than expensive ones. And Shady Rays are a fraction of the price. They're durable. Will and I are wearing ours right now. Built to tackle all of life's outdoor adventures. Their styles are timeless and on point. They make us look fantastic. Plus, Shady Rays have Polaroid lenses for crystal clear vision and strong sun protection, and that's a real test of a good pair of sunglasses. I got my lady one because guess what? When you use our promo code HARDFACTOR, you go to shadyrays.com/HARDFACTOR and use promo code HARDFACTOR for a limited time. When you buy one pair of Shady Rays, you get a second pair free, and it is the easiest brownie points I've ever obtained in my life. Because it literally cost me nothing. I got a pair of sunglasses, and I said, here you go. Here's a free pair of sunglasses. With every order also, Shady Rays Impact Program works with nonprofits worldwide to make an impact in the lives of children and young adults, like building play sets for pediatric cancer patients and creating adventures for young adults with cancer and MS. It's like, they just do a lot of great things, and therefore, you are doing a lot of great things just by buying Shady Rays. So you can just feel great about yourself as you wear these sunglasses.
And you
can
look
tell
great,
people,
too.
like, did you help anyone today? Oh, wait, I did. I'm wearing these sunglasses. You and Shady Rays are making an impact together. So, again, I've got the Patriot. They're like turtle shell. I've shown them before, but you go on their website. They've got a ton of different kinds of styles for everyone, whether you want like an aviator style. Mark, what are the ones you wear in there?
Navigators.
Like navigators.
They have aviators too. Yeah.
I mean, all kind for kids, for ladies, for dudes, and they are great sunglasses, high quality. So again, go to shadyrays.com, SHADYRAYS.com/factor, code HARDFACTOR, and get a second pair of Shady Rays free. And make sure you use code HARDFACTOR.
Hell yeah. Did you guys see the video of the woman waving in the woods to a helicopter or like a drone to get rescued recently?
No.
Let me show you this. Let me show you the video. This is of a woman who's lost in the woods, right? And you'll see they got like this is like a police helicopter drone thing. Oh,
Right.
there she is.
Okay, there she is.
That's
I found her.
48-year-old woman frantically waving her arms around. That's Lillian. Here comes the police car.
Okay, yeah.
They found her, right? And it's gonna pick her up here. Oh, we got you, Lillian. She's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's not an American police car.
Thank
What country
God.
is this?
And then they both get her, and she's like, you need help walking back to the car. and then you'll see like she's very like frail. You know, oh my God. And then they get the thumbs up. We got her. Thumbs up to the camera. We got her. So yeah, that's 48-year-old Lillian who went on vacation in Bright, Australia last month. She's also from not the US, either UK or Australia. And as you can kind of infer from the arm waving and getting lost in the woods, Lillian's a bit of a project. Takes a village with Lillian.
Yeah, and the coach.
Yeah.
Oh, did Lillian wander off in the woods again?
Yeah.
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 Right.
In fact, so
Large
down to
lady,
the station.
checkered coat, large lady.
yes. In fact, so much so that her family made her do daily check-ins while she was in Bright by herself to make sure she wasn't lost in the woods. They're like, will you please call us at noon every day, Lillian, to make sure you didn't get lost in the woods? And guess what? She had vacation wellness check-ins. Guess what? She missed one, obviously. Yeah. So the family was like, oh dear, what happened to Lillian this time? And alerted authorities that they had a tizzy relative who was on vacation in Bright, Australia. And this is the cabin she rented from. She hasn't responded. She's probably been eaten by wildlife or is about to be eaten by wildlife somewhere out there behind the cabin. Can you go look for her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. She has a lot of meat on bone. You know what I mean?
She does. She's a big girl.
And she's got money to spend too on vacation. Wow.
She does. Well, I mean, I think that
that's where we're at. That's where we're at financially and in our economy.
Yeah.
This lady's on vacation. Wow.
Well,
it's true. It's true. I mean, it's true. It's true.
She's got several disability checks coming in. Lucky duck. Well, I just had to cancel a vacation thanks to my landlord. So on April 30th, the search for Lillian began. Police say their air wing, whatever that is, drone or helicopter, spotted Lillian's car at the end of the dirt road, which you saw in the Mita bushland, which is not where Lillian should have been, about 60 kilometers from the nearest town. And that's where she was for 5 days. Lillian was trying to get to Dartmouth Dam, but she took a very wrong turn. The dam should be right here. I don't see a dam. Then to make matters worse, Lillian drove her car straight into mud and got stuck because that's what Lillian does. She went, it's fucking hilarious. She went,
oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The wheels are spinning.
Oh, not again, Lillian.
What, the dam should be right around here.
It's on it now.
Yeah. So now the wheels are spinning. She's off course. Then, of course, there's no cell phone signal out there, so she couldn't call for help. So she immediately gave up and just sat in her car, which luckily had a bunch of snacks and some wine. So for 5 days, Lillian drank wine and sucked on lollipops and used the car heater sparingly when she needed warmth in the middle of the night, turning the car off and on for 5 days, sucking on lollipops and drinking wine.
Sounds like a vacation.
Christ,
yeah, it doesn't sound that bad.
We actually got my vacation in the end.
Well, luckily I brought 3,000 lollipops.
I could use one of those vacations exactly right now.
Yeah, no cell phone. I know.
I'm sorry, but like with wine and lollipops.
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
Exactly.
If you get fucking lost in the woods, if you're lost in the woods and you have booze in your car, and the first thing you do is crack the booze, you deserve to die. You deserve to fucking die. The last thing you should do is crack the booze.
First of all, no.
If you
first night you crack the booze.
Yeah.
Pat, I disagree.
Dude, you want to dehydrate yourself?
Pat, I disagree with you, but Lillian on your kick, realizing that she probably had gone too tiz and didn't want to make it further, lied to the local news and said that she doesn't even drink, but she just had some wine bottles in the car as gifts to give out to like her mom and stuff. She's like, I just happen to have one. I never drink. But unless I'm stuck in the woods because I went off course and got stuck in a mud pile, of course, then I drink.
She drove into the mud. She was hammered.
Yeah, my emergency wine.
Yeah, luckily I had several gift wine bags.
Oh, I don't know. I suppose.
I just better. I'll pair it with this lollipop.
DJ Bear, that's first 6 minutes. You're cracking a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
No, dude. You immediately need to start strategizing on how the fuck you're gonna make your.
There's no strategy for Lillian.
She knows herself, Pat.
It's burning
wasn't
fuel.
gonna do
Is
anything.
what it is, Wes.
Yeah,
It's the equivalent of burning fuel.
She knew the family check-in was just hours away, and that they're worried
Okay.
about her.
They'll come get her.
They'll come get me, and she's just sucking on lollipops. They'll
I'll
come
give
get
up.
Yeah. Lillian has health issues, which is why she was unable to walk the 45 kilometers or whatever back to her
And she
cabin.
loves to drink wine and
Right.
eat lollipops.
She would have
So
been walking in circles anyways. It would have gotten her further away from where she needed to be.
well, I could have walked
Bro,
away.
they better
but I
be
could just stay
they
in the car and
Yeah.
drink wine.
Better
and
be
eat
charging
lollipops.
Lillian, man. It ain't fucking cheap to get the helicopter out, bro. Like they better be sending a bill to this lady.
Oh, that's so funny. She's so stupid. Yeah, so no more vacations, solo vacations for Lillian, please. Or maybe there will be, and she'll just definitely drive her car into a ditch with zero cell phone service and miss her daily check-in again. That's the risk you run there, Lillian.
I mean, the wine probably saved her life from walking into like a crocodile's mouth. I mean,
Yeah, she was so satisfied to stay. That's a happy story, honestly.
I
yeah,
think it's winter
pretty
down
awesome.
there, man.
it sounds
Yes.
fantastic.
She just had lollipops and wine and suffered no injuries. And
They could
learned
sell
no
boutique
lessons.
hotels where you just sit in a car.
Yeah, the
and-
Lillian.
Yeah, the Lillian. They could
I'd like a
sell that.
Lillian, please.
Yeah, they can sell that to me.
Yeah.
Hammer and drive your car into
Yeah.
the mud and then
And-
stay there for 5 days.
And they don't let you come back to the hotel.
Man, Lillian's the type of smart that she hooks a hose up to her exhaust and runs it into her car to keep herself warm. That's the type of lady.
She's an
Lillian
idiot. Yeah, she needs again. It takes a village, like I said. But there's Lillian for you.
It's not the brightest bulbs in the box ordering the Lillian.
No,
People that need to blow up some steam.
Yeah,
that's like an Aaron Rodgers type trip. It's like
yeah, it is.
you got to get inside your own head a little bit.
That's our version of the Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers
that's our
cave.
version.
Yeah.
I would do
I'm
the
with you,
Lillian.
Wes.
Carton of smokes, some bottles
Yeah.
of wine.
Yeah. Cell phone
Car.
doesn't work. Eventually, a drone flies
Yeah.
overhead, and it's time to go
What are
home.
these?
Get that
These
car
blow
nice and
pops.
stuck now.
Yeah. It's
Stuck enough? I don't know.
I'm so stuck. Pop a lollipop in.
Yeah, take the spark plug out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, Lillian, she's awesome. All right. Speaking of getting hammered, guys, is there a new king of beers in America? That's the name of this segment. Everybody is thinking it. Now it's
Coors
time to
Light.
say it out loud. Okay. Because one of my favorite beers of all time, Yuengling, just dropped their red, white, and blue can line for the summer. You see it here. Partially to proceed to the troops, which is great. And that's awesome for me and the 5 other Yuengling drinkers west of the
Yeah,
Mississippi
and
River.
A little racist.
to-
Looks a little racist.
Partially
yeah,
to
Wes, I
cuck,
did need your
partially
check.
to
You think
cock.
so?
Listen, the sideways. I've always
Bud
said the sideways looking bird, racist.
It's a very white can. It's for
Yeah,
the
you're
troops,
right.
though.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
bird's got to be looking straight ahead.
Yeah, it's got everything straight ahead.
Okay, maybe the can design. It's still a tasty beer.
What's it looking
but
at? You know,
Like saying something racist on the
Yeah.
side of its
why
mouth.
doesn't it want to make eye contact?
Yeah. Is that a
It
blue
does-
guy?
it does have a little bit of like a Hitler Youth vibe to it. That eagle.
Yeah, any sideways looking bird like that.
I swear to God, if I turn my head the other way and that black guy's still there.
That's what the eagles say.
Yeah.
You see the eagle on top there, Will? The main Yuengling eagle? That's not racist. It's
Right.
the new
You're
one.
right.
Yeah, it's the red.
That's the
blue, and-
original. Okay, sorry. So
Yeah.
you guys don't like the summer can line, but it is for the troops. I will say that. Again,
No.
it's proceeds to the troops. So it's like, yeah, maybe they didn't knock the design out of the park, but again, they're making moves. Yuengling is, but the New York Post and other outlets suggests that America's oldest brewery, that's Yuengling, by the way, and probably many others as well, may be springing into action this summer, like Yuengling is with the cans that maybe they didn't design perfectly, to compete in a bit of a cataclysm in the American beer world, where we could conceivably see Bud Light potentially losing its spot as America's #1 selling beer in the coming months. So the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light can TikTok video dropped on April 1st. And then during April, U.S. sales of Bud Light dropped the equivalent of 1% of the company's overall annual volume, which, doesn't sound like much, but when you're looking at a whole year, but for the month, Bud Light sales in retail stores fell at least 21.4% compared to a year ago, last April, where rival brands Coors Light and Miller Lite each saw their sales grow by at least 10% each.
Oh my God, that's
according to an
amazing.
analysis.
Look at that Yuengling can that you showed up there. It says American Eagle on it.
Yeah, American Eagle.
Now, Yuengling also.
That's the original can.
Are you going to talk about the
Summer line.
stats? You're going to talk about the stats Yuengling should be throwing out there because they should have been doing this for a long time.
But they're the oldest brewery,
They're the
right?
oldest.
Pottsville, PA.
They're the oldest United States brewery, and they're
Yes.
the largest, only operated in the United States brewing company.
Besides
Oldest
Pabst.
and only. Well, no. Well, they're
largest and oldest. Yeah, but
Yes,
but they're the
'cause
biggest besides Pabst.
Bud
of the
Light's in
American breweries.
South America or South Africa or wherever now. and
Yeah, we'll get to
they're
that.
all-
So
yeah.
we'll get to that. So these stats are
Yuengling
according
should
to
have been doing this American shit forever.
right, but they're they we'll get to how they're growing, but like they're just getting in on it now. But it's because Bud Light's struggling so bad.
You call them
those
lagers.
Bud Light, what's that?
That's what the locals call Yuengling. They don't
me
call
get a
it
lager.
Yuengling. It's a lager. Give me
lager.
a lager.
You walk into a bar in Philadelphia, you say, "Let me get a lager." They'll put a Yuengling right there in front of you.
Yeah.
They are delicious.
Slide it down the
Pennsylvania.
table.
Yeah, delicious beers. All this state data is according to analysis of Nielsen data by Bump Williams Consulting. So some reports say that Bud Light sales in April, the drop is as bad as 26%, meaning that about 1 in 5 to 1 in 4 Bud Light drinkers and even some Bud Heavy drinkers, Natty Light and Busch drinkers are currently beerless and searching for options in the Rockies mostly and other places. So because you see as Bud Light, Busch, Natty go down, and of course Bud Heavy, you see Coors Light, Coors Original making huge gains, also Yuengling and Miller Lite. And so, I've got to say that Yuengling's America's oldest brewery, as Mark pointed out, number one. Number two, the new camo can, while the design may be questionable, part of your purchase goes to supporting the military nonprofit Team Red, White, and Blue. And then number three, Yuengling is delicious, which is, why they notably gained like 15% of their sales compared to last April too.
Yeah, but
so they're
the
doing
problem-
good too.
The problem with Yuengling, I love Yuengling too. I mean, it's
You better stop.
Practically
Stop
grew
while
up
you're
on it.
ahead when you say the
Yeah.
problem with Yuengling.
Well, no, the problem is that you
Is
can't really
nothing?
slam them like you could have, like you can have. Bud
Ooh,
Light.
but Wes, I have the answer for that. It's far better than Bud Heavy in my estimation, Yuengling Original, and they have a Yuengling Light called Flight.
There you go.
But you can't buy it pretty much anywhere but the Eastern United States, so it's not ever going to be the king of beers in America realistically. But who do you guys think will be the new king of beers if Bud Light loses its crown? That's like the real question here.
You're not going to like my answer.
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite, maybe. So right now, the top 4 selling beers in the USA are number 1, Bud Light, with about 15 to 16% of the market share as of 2022. But it's been declining since 2016, their market share. Number 2, Corona, the Mexican king of beers. Also, Budweiser is in here somewhere. They sell a lot of Bud Heavies. Number 3, Coors Light, with 8 to 9% of the U.S. market share and climbing. Number 4, Miller Lite, with 8 to 9%, similar to Coors Light. But they've been much bigger in the past, whereas Coors Light's been kind of growing slower. So if Bud Light is down 20% ish to 26 from 15 to 16% market share last year, they'd be about 12 to 13% currently market share today in the United States of beer sales, with Coors Light and Miller Lite climbing to around 10 to 11% each respectively in April last month. Bud Heavy and Michelob Ultra also do big numbers, but those are down too because of the Mulvaney can stuff. So the current king, Bud Light, has been brewed since 1982 and overtook its older brother, Budweiser, as America's number 1 king of beers in 2001 and has since never looked back. They've been the king since then, until sales began to slip, and then the Mulvaney can in April. And now take a look at Fenway Park recently, customerless Bud Light stands full of beers. They have plenty to sell, but no customers in line at the Red Sox Blue Jays game. And this is last Thursday. And at Luis Ja, the Boston realtor on TikTok, can't believe it. Can't believe his eyes. And he's just showing the world.
There's also, Will, I don't know if you saw this story, but there was a guy who did like a free beer experiment. I think at a ballpark.
Yeah,
No
and he
one taking
offered
Bud Light.
no one. All he had left was Bud Light. It was like it was in Tennessee, I think, right? And no
Yeah,
one
it was
wanted to be
Travis.
seen with even a free Bud Light.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they made one Mulvaney can, a single one.
I mean,
It
dude,
was
like
a single can. they wasn't even a manufacturer.
I think it was a case. I think it was like a case. But yeah,
it was
wasn't much.
it was the promotion line for Dylan Mulvaney, and then it was posted to Dylan Mulvaney's multiple millions of followers, and it went very viral. And if you can't even buy a Bud Light in public in Boston, I expect Tennessee, but in Boston, and the sales have been declining for years already, we may be looking at a new king of beers in the USA soon. So who do you guys think is going to win the Royal Rumble in this?
No one.
King of beers
my answer was no one, because beer is in trouble, period, because of seltzers and other drinks. Yeah, beer. The answer is no one. This is a fine.
There's got to be somebody who's the top seller, and Bud Light's going down.
But all of them are going to lose sales. Like every single one of them loses. Is my point. So someone can be the top dog of a smaller pile. Is all I'm saying.
But Miller and Coors are going up though. And
no. If you look at the past 10 years, beers in general are way down, and they're going to continue to go way down because of seltzers and other drinks like that.
I don't know. I still love them. My money's on Coors Light, who I'd say is a lot like the Ultimate Warrior during his rise to the heavyweight title belt in this situation. Bud Light is obviously Hulk Hogan because, the champ forever. Miller Lite, probably the Macho Man, someone similar who's not really maybe takes the crown, but gets it taken away right away. And the Ultimate Warrior, R.I.P. James Hellwig, was the WWE champ from 1990 to 1991. And he actually took the belt from Hulk Hogan at the Royal Rumble at WrestleMania 6 in the Sky Dome in Toronto, which is a big beer city. So I think we have a little bit of history repeating itself here.
Those are impressive thighs. Put those back up.
Ultimate Warrior.
The Warrior. Vince McMahon loved the Warrior because of those thighs. He had two moves. He ran to the ring with intensity and shook the ropes when he got it, and then he had the overhand press and the running shoulder, and that was he had literally two moves.
Base for that press.
His matches didn't last long.
Was awesome.
The electric ropes was awesome.
I think he's the
Hogan didn't have many moves either.
Right. Yeah. Which he didn't hold the belt for long, but he did take the belt away from Hogan, which I think is what's going to happen potentially here with the Mulvaney backlash. Final technicality.
I think our guy, the Macho Man, took it off the Warrior though.
He did. But then they teamed up a few years later to be the Ultimate Power. Wait, no,
Mega Powers, the
Macho Maniacs. I forget what the name of.
Well, the Mega Powers was Hogan and
Mega. No, that was Hogan.
Hogan and Macho Man. Yeah.
Macho Maniacs. I don't know. I forget theirs, but they teamed up later after that. Final technicality on beers to mention: Bud Light, as Mark alluded to earlier, has been owned by InBev, Belgian, since 2008. So it's technically Belgian, anyways. Miller Lite has been South African owned since 2002, and Molson Coors is the only mostly American brewer in the top 4 in the USA right now, actually. So my money is definitely on the Silver Bullet, the Ultimate Warrior, but 100% American-owned Yuengling is still better than all of them, and the fact that they need to sell that on the West Coast is really my biggest takeaway from this entire Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney scandal, because I didn't even care about the video. I just cared more about the beers.
Homophobe Marlon Moore says he switched to Yuengling.
Yuengling Flight's probably fucking delicious. More
internet comment.
That's delicious. Dude, he doesn't. No, Wes. It's not that people are homophobic. It's that they don't want to deal with the bullshit. They don't want to deal with being with some asshole yelling at them for holding a Bud Light can.
Hold on to the next one, right?
Yeah. So that's it.
You stay put.
Bud Light's hurting.
Put for why he's
stay put.
Just kidding, Marlon.
You stay put.
By the way, Tom says Dottie is still in the Bud Light, of course, and so she's holding strong.
Okay, holding strong. All right, they're with the 74% at least that are doing the same.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna ask all my co-hosts to make a pledge. The pledge is if you read an internet comment, but first you say a comment from the internet, and then the person's comment.
Okay,
all game
fair enough. Yeah, and we also try not to.
I know the people at home are like, what did they say?
Right.
What did they say?
Comment from the internet, Marlon, and then Wes kind of said.
So that was us calling Marlon Moore a homophobe.
Yeah, and then Wes eventually Wes says just kidding in the chat, like only like the 40 people in the chat see that, but the thousands and thousands of people listening don't even hear it.
I said it on air. You didn't
got
hear
you covered. The 40 people in the chat saw
Did you not hear it when I said it?
I know. You said it after.
The chat has gone silent.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get put on blast. Wes is about to blast you off.
Marlon's like listening to this at work.
Oh,
look
on speaker. Oh, they're talking about me. Oh no.
Oh, Marlon knows it was a gag. Let's kick it over to Vaughan, Ontario, Canada, for a tale of some shitheads hanging outside a liquor store on a Saturday night. A tale as old as time. There's a guy and a gal coming out of this liquor store. They bought some beer. And I guess that beer was in a bag, maybe a plastic bag. Maybe some of that bag was showing. And across the street, 4 shitheads. And these guys
Ask for a beer.
nothing better to do than just hang outside that liquor store. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand how small town Canada is. Canada is redneck as shit. And this isn't redneck area, but this is some redneck ass behavior, some small town behavior.
Still,
and it's
like,
going
even
down.
When we were hanging out in Vancouver a few years ago, like parts of Vancouver felt like small townish. Like it was like small pubs. The streets were empty.
Agreed.
Parts of it.
Big time. So 4 guys, one in a tracksuit, one in a Cristiano Ronaldo jersey. The other 2, I'm not sure what they were wearing, but they were there. And yeah, a guy and a gal coming out. And the guy in the tracksuit walks up to this couple and says, "Hey, what do you got in that bag?" And then rhymes it with a slur towards gay people.
Bob Huggins'
See what I'm
favorite
saying?
word. Yeah.
What do you got in that bag? And he thought it was Bud Light. So he started pushing this
You
guy,
from Xavier?
saying, you would have that in your bag. Yeah, you and this girl. Me and my boys over here were just saying how you were gay. You and this girl walking out of the liquor store. Not us 4 guys sitting in a Nissan Rogue parked across
your
the
girlfriend, your gay girlfriend.
Yeah. Sure.
street. Y'all super gay.
Yeah.
And they knocked.
What do you
that
do,
Bud
cuddle?
Light- They knocked that Bud Light out of that gay man's hands. And
in front of his
the beer
girlfriend.
spilled to the ground. And wouldn't you know it, guys? It wasn't Bud Light at all. It was a different beer. But that beer also had kind of a gay color to it, according to the 4 guys hanging across the street.
It's close enough. It's close enough.
It was a light enough blue. It was a light enough blue for him to continue his tirade.
And I was saying you're gay and you have Bud Light. You weren't saying anything otherwise, though. You didn't say it. Hell no, it's Labatt Blue and that's gay.
I do agree. I do agree with the homophobic hothead in this one regard. If somebody rolls up to you hot as shit, like in a parking lot, and you just bought beers, the only move is to immediately crack the case and toss him a cold one. That will diffuse any situation. This dude would not have got the beers,
unless it's a Bud Light. And he's like, "Oh, gay."
We would have seen it wasn't a Bud Light. I mean,
don't let it touch me. He pulls his gun out and kills himself. He chops his arm off that it touched.
Yeah, it's
like he's been bitten by a vampire.
Yeah, or like in
a
the,
gay
last, like the
vampire.
Last of
You
Us.
tried to make me gay with your Bud Light.
Quick, cut my arm off.
So, okay. So here's where the story diverges. I'm not sure because I'm going to show you some pictures of the suspect. But the police issued a statement, and this is a quote. "I guess there were some rainbow colors on the cans, so that really pissed him off. But then upon further determination as to why they...
More like Labatt Brown.
Exactly, but the photos I'm going to show you are just like a slightly lighter can color than Bud Light. Here we go. Let me play a quick video from the
More
news.
like
This is
Labutt.
Labutt.
The suspect made a comment about the male victim purchasing what he thought was Bud Light. It turns out it was actually some different alcohol that was purchased that had some
Equally gay
colors on the can, I guess you could say. And there were some anti-gay comments that were made at the time.
What are those gay colors on that can?
Oh no! You just can't even buy beer anymore.
Can't buy beer.
Unbelievable. This is in Canada.
Yeah,
This is in Canada. So the guy's girlfriend steps in between the 2 men, right? The aggressor, tracksuit, and the
no, it's seltzers. Okay.
the potentially gay beer drinker with a girlfriend. And this guy knocks that lady to the ground so hard that she required hospitalization. She had to go get treated at the hospital. It was a huge crowd outside. It says so in the police report, which is interesting because it's like it's even more small town fucking redneck ass backwoods Canada shit because there's like it's a hangout. So like it's
They
like
didn't
Dazed
stop
and
the
Confused.
psycho from hitting the woman, like
No, they didn't.
hospitalizing her. The
Nope,
huge crowd couldn't
No,
stop
she's-
the guy from pushing a girl.
No, she's standing up for queers.
They're all scared to be associated with Bud Light.
Yeah, yeah,
Bud
exactly.
Light's fucked.
Yeah,
You would go home and drink that.
Women are getting knocked out in front
This
of
is
dudes.
Canada,
over
you're
Bud Light,
right.
yeah.
This is crazy.
It's like, nah, dude, I can't be part of that. It's Bud Light.
This ain't even Tennessee.
What the fuck, dude? All right, so someone caught some photographs. They got the guy's license plate number.
Yeah, because
Why
everyone,
the crowd
everyone
didn't hold him.
No, everyone's just standing around scared of this guy. Now, well, Pat, please describe his features there in the article.
So something weird is happening with this guy. I'm going to put the photo up here in just a second. But the police described him as a 25 to 35-year-old man, slim build, short buzz cut hair, a tattoo on his jawline.
He had a tattoo,
and tattoos,
jawline.
Both of his hands. Now, something happened with his
knuckle,
face.
Sandwich.
His face
is tattoo my mustache on and then shave it off.
It saves time. Well, you don't have to trim it. Asian ladies love that with their eyebrows. So his face, not a stereotype, it's true. Okay, and if his face got like smeared with something blue, look at this. What happened to this guy?
Oh,
psychopath, dude.
Look at him.
That's a real picture?
I don't know. That's the real picture. That was a picture that was taken at.
Was he huffing?
They haven't got a name of this guy,
glue?
Dude. He's such a scrawny bastard. How come the crowd didn't just fuck him up? Like if it was a big crowd,
of skinhead.
What could that be?
Going on with his face?
Or something?
What are those?
Nothing like
those are seltzers.
Yeah,
they look like maybe that's what it was.
They're long cans for sure.
No, it's two.
You're right.
Those aren't seltzers. Those are beers.
It's short.
Right, they look like the color
short
of the quad.
Blue cans, light blue.
They look like Bud Lights. Is what they look like. I mean, with
they
them
look like
that.
a fancy Bud Light. You're right.
Man, they do look like Bud Lights.
He's like, this Bud Light's even fucking fancier than the real. This.
Yeah,
dude. What could happen to his face?
Oh, what do you call them now that they're gay? Whatever. They're former Bud Lights.
Like a kid threw chalk at him or something.
Right. It looks like his face is covered in chalk, blue chalk.
Right. They still don't have him, Pat? They still haven't found this guy?
Dude, they don't have him. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing that the Canadian police are asking for the public's help when they have the guy's license plate number and the make of his make and model of his car, a black Nissan Rogue, which they called an SUV. But honestly, guys, let's be honest, it's not really an SUV.
What he might have been doing?
No, they just have his license plate.
Dusting off.
Oh, he could have been dusting off.
Oh, yeah, he's dusting. That's why he got the blue shit on his face.
Dusting
Tough
off.
guys love to dust.
Yeah.
To Pat's point from the other show, the crowd should have gotten involved in that one. That's one where you step in. If you see somebody being attacked because they bought a gay beer and then their girlfriend's about to get hospitalized by a psycho, that's when you step in.
Your perception of gay beer.
Gay beer.
But for real, what is he thinking?
We all know this beer is gay.
This is for your own good. I don't want you to get any
But no one needs to hit a woman over it.
Right. That's the exact line you say.
Everyone, you do a full circle. You think it's gay. We all think it's gay. But you knocked her down.
I'll calm it right down.
Yeah.
Eric, what do we have here in the that you just
face.
loaded?
Oh, we were supposed to do a poll at the beginning. Do we have a poll?
Looks like it might be Labatt Blue Beer. Hang on.
It could be Labatt, which is the least gay beer of all time, dude. Labatt Blue is, hold on. It is a beer that you drink in an ice
Labatt
ice
can,
house.
like it was like it could be Ice House, but I mean, there's also another Canadian beer. There's also another Canadian beer that starts with a K. It's called like Coloc or something. That's a light blue can for beer. I forget what it's
I like
called.
Ice House. That's a good guess.
We'll put it out on Twitter. You guys can be the judge. Anyway, let's get the wheel up.
Well, first, I just want to, shout out Marlon Moore because he's being a really good sport. This shows how just great senses of humor our fans
Internet
have.
commenter,
Marlon Moore. He came back and said, "Great, first time live on YouTube, and now I'm the homophobe guy."
Look at his picture with his wife.
Went to grab my wife and say, "Hey, they posted my comment." Next thing I come back is to a pure crucifixion.
So he did do the sweet. They're talking about me.
Yeah. And then he says he's been with us for the Barstool Day is not going to scare me off. We love you,
Hell
Marlon.
yeah.
Thank you for your support. That's
Marlon's
how cool
the
I
man.
feel.
Yeah,
that's right.
You Bud Light hating son of a bitch.
Way to add. You added to the show, Marlon.
That's right.
Big time
Content.
Also, Yuengling Flight. Bet it's fucking delicious. Let me know.
Hey, what do you guys want to do tonight? I don't know. I say maybe we go down to a liquor store, see who's buying Bud Light, and try to beat him up, right?
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
I would have
Sounds
to
like a hell of a Saturday.
Yuengling Flight. I don't even know how I get it.
Again, it's just gay bashing coming back around, thinly veiled through Bud Light somehow.
Right, but people
used to do this back in the day without Bud Lights. 70s, 80s, they would just drive around in trucks and then beat the shit out of gay people.
All you should really take away from it all is that Yuengling is just delicious and it's been slept on. And I think that people have found that out as Bud Light has begun to struggle.
Look, Yuengling's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
It is.
I mean,
I tried the on a recommendation, I forget who recommended me. I apologize, but someone said that the Corona non-alcoholic beer is good. Found some last night, pretty good. But if you are drinking non-alcoholic beer, the Sam Adams is making the best right now. Their golden is delicious and they're like hazy. Sam Adams makes a great non-alcoholic beer. So if you're hankering one.
Hey,
I was surprised. Wes, that Sam Adams wasn't higher up on the sales charts, but I guess it's regional, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Sam Adams.
Sam Adams makes great beer. Yeah.
One cherry wheat, little GAY, but 1 or 2 cherry wheats, delicious. Obviously,
a little Bud Lighty.
If you get Bud Lighty. Have all 6, you're a little.
You buy 6 of that and a 6 of Bud Light.
Walk out the 6 you're asking for.
You're getting.
I don't want to drink it. Brown. You want a brown paper bag it.
Getting a smart mouth.
You want to disguise it, dude? That's what we should make. Is
I thought it was Boston Lager.
we should make tight. You know those koozies, the plastic ones that go around a can that like form fit it. The hard plastic ones. Koozie. We should make those, but are disguises for if you're a Bud Light lover.
Or the opposite, not Bud Light.
Miller Light or something. Yeah. I like that.
What's the toughest beer there is?
That's a good
idea.
This
is St. Ides.
Bud Light koozie. We gotta put those up.
That's a good idea. All right, here's the wheel. Let's get it done.
What do you got in that bag?
Marlon's not going to get his wish.
Ooh, right on me.
William. There you have it.
All right. Well, I'll have your cup of coffee tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Take us away, Patrick.
Oh, you want to get out there and check people's bags as they're leaving the liquor store. Make sure they're not doing anything gay, and have a great fucking day.